Or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Kelvin Gastelum feels like Robert Whittaker is ducking his motherfucking taco. Come on, dog. Just come on. And you know what? I can't even treat this like it's not serious, because the minute I reported Chris Weidman is likely going to be Robert Whittaker's next opponent, Robert Whittaker's manager came out and said, yeah, we're injured, but by the time we're healed up, it looks like it might be around the time of Madison Square Garden. So yeah, we would love to fight at Madison Square Garden, one of the world's greatest arenas. And who better to fight than New York's own Chris Weidman, the All-American? Fuck yeah, let's do it. And the minute we reported that, boy, I tell you what, the comments came. Robert Whittaker is scared of Kelvin's boxing. Robert Whittaker's really ducking Gastelum. I'm like, what? I couldn't believe it until I seen about 4 or 5 separate people with the same opinion, and I was like, are you guys fucking crazy? You guys think Robert Whittaker, the motherfucker that, I don't want to say melted Jacare because it almost sounds disrespectful, but the dude that shrugged off Jacare's takedowns and finished Jacare and then fought the soldier god Yoel Romero 2 times, is scared of Kelvin Gastelum that's coming off of a split decision over Jacare that beat Michael Bisping before that? Like, what? And then if you want to take it to that level, if you want to talk about someone being scared to fight somebody, you would think a former welterweight would not want to fight Weidman. We've seen what Weidman does to former welterweights when he fought Gastelum. He could do that to Whittaker. Are you kidding me? Now, Whittaker has been at middleweight a lot longer than Kelvin Gastelum, and he's the champion, and he's beat savages in I would say in their prime, but it's kind of hard to say. I mean, you could say that for Derek Brunson, but whenever you look at Jacare and Yoel Romero, in my mind, they're more in their prime than Vitor Belfort, Michael Bisping, Jacare today. Literally, Robert Whittaker fought Jacare when he was on a win streak. Whenever the killers of the top 4 of the middleweight division, you had fucking Rockhold, Weidman, Yoel, Jacare, and Musashi was even under that joint. It was fucking nasty, the middleweight division. You know who the fuck came through out of nowhere, fucking putting motherfucking savages on his back and kicking ass and taking names? Robert Whittaker came through, fought Jacare. I was like, oh, yo, Jacare's a killer. I hear you, Whittaker, and I know you're a beast and all, but we got the top 5 locked up, bro. These are gonna be the guys we're talking about as champions. It's just not your time right now, Whittaker. You fought Brunson, and it was a great performance, man. Derek Brunson was streaking before that, great performance. But now you're dealing with Jacare. Whittaker came in there and made it look easy. What the hell? How do you do that against Jacare? We just saw Jacare almost beat Kelvin Gastelum, and to be fair, if you want to get technical, Kelvin Gastelum almost lost the title shot in that fight. It was a split decision in Brazil. And if I'm not mistaken, Jacare got a takedown in the 3rd round. So Kelvin Gastelum should be thanking the MMA gods he's still a #1 contender. Because if the Brazilian judges in Brazil give Jacare, the Brazilian legend, the split decision, you ain't even fighting for a title right now, OG. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, to come out and say the champion that beat Jacare decisively, not a split decision, finished him, just fought Yoel twice, is scared of you, that's a little disrespectful in my mind of the champion. Especially even if you're thinking about it as a business. If you're thinking about it as a fight, it's still disrespectful. If you're thinking about it as a business, Whittaker's still right picking Weidman. He's, for one, a former champion. For 2, little bit of the Holly Holmes syndrome as to where he's the guy that took out Anderson Silva when he was still Anderson Silva, and he did it twice. And so Weidman is always looked at as one of the best middleweights. Even when he was riding his first losses in his career, which happened to go on a streak, 3-fight losing streak, he was still fighting the best guys in the world. When he fought fucking Luke Rockhold, when he fought Gegard Mousasi, those are legit the best middleweights in the world at the time. So It's not like he's just fighting any type. He wasn't fighting fucking Michael Bisping, you know what I'm saying, at the time. And respect to Michael Bisping, he's a beast. You know, Michael Bisping did his thug thizzle. But I'm talking about the end of Michael Bisping's career. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever Kelvin fought him, he was coming off of a quick loss. Actually, it was a really quick turnaround to GSP. Michael Bisping had just been dropped and submitted like, what, 3 weeks before he fought Kelvin Gastelum? So that just wasn't full Michael Bisping, you know? So Whittaker has been fighting killers, and now we're talking about Weidman. He's a wrestling stud. He could easily control this fight similar to how he did with Kelvin Gastelum. And so how is he the easier fight? You guys think fucking what would you rather deal with? Weidman's wrestling or Kelvin's boxing? If you think from an MMA perspective, who usually does a lot better in MMA? A wrestler or a boxer? It's gonna be the wrestler, especially if he's got a fucking weight advantage on you. So Weidman is a fucking stud. You know what I'm saying? And picking Weidman over Gastelum is not the easy fight at all. That's not what's fucking going on here. And think about it, if we're still talking business, Madison Square Garden, huge arena. Why not fight the home guy? It's a bigger opportunity for your career. It's a former champion. It's a bigger name for your resume. Like, there's a million reasons if you're fucking Whittaker, you'd probably fight Weidman. Unless you're scared. Now, maybe, you know, because if you don't want to fight Weidman, then you might go with Gastelum. But that's even more to my point. If fucking Robert Whittaker would have came out and chose Gastelum over Weidman, people would have said he was ducking Weidman. They would have said he didn't want Weidman to do to him what Gastelum did. They would say he wanted to fight Gastelum because Gastelum wasn't one of the best middleweights in the world. Some people would say that, you know, just with who he's been beating. He hasn't really been beating the prime guys, right? Kelvin Gastelum's been on the Legends ass-kicking tour. Tim Kennedy, Vitor Belfort, Michael Bisping, Jacare, you know, even after Whittaker fought him. So, in my mind, the only way Gastelum really gets the title shot is, and this is something I would like to see him still do. If you want to come out here and instead of saying Robert Whittaker's ducking you, right now it's a toss-up. Right now it's Robert Whittaker's choice or the UFC's choice. Who's going to fight Whittaker next? You know what you can come and do to make your case better? We got about 4 months between now and Madison Square Garden. So if you take a fight in next month, give you a quick training camp and just take a fight with someone, then, and you win that fight and come out unscathed, then you can't be denied. You cannot be denied. Fuck that. I fought 3 fights, 3 wins, impressive wins. You know, Jacare, I get it. It was a split decision. All right, well, that's why I came back with this one. Boom. Get him a fight with a top 10 ranked opponent in the next couple of months. David Branch is looking to fight Jacare. Okay, well, shoot, how about this? David Branch. Boom. Gastelum versus David Branch. And if Gastelum can beat David Branch in the next month and a half, he gets the title shot in my mind. He beat 3 people while Weidman's sitting out messing with his injury, or not messing with his injury, but he's injured and he was supposed to already be back, but the same injury got lingering injured, or it was a little setback, so now he's still out and now he's going to be getting a title shot off of the injury. I hear where Kelvin Gastelum's coming from for sure. Yeah, he has been more active picking up wins, but your last loss is to Weidman. So right now it's still a toss-up. So if you want to put the odds ever more in your favor, you might want to fight someone like David Branch in the meantime, in between time. Or do you just rest on your laurels and say, okay, well, if Weidman gets this one, I hope I get the next one. You know, maybe I'll get to fight the winner. You know, is that what you're going to do? Or are you going to, you know, take a fight? We'll see what happens, man. But either way, I do not think it's fair, respectful, or right, smart, any of that shit to think that Robert Whittaker is ducking Kelvin Gastelum. I think you're sadly mistaken if you think Kelvin's boxing is just that scary to all of these middleweights in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he just came out and knocked out Jacare in the first round. It's not like he knocked out Chris Weidman in the first round. Yeah, he's tagged some guys. He knocked Michael Bisping out. He definitely did that. But for him to knock Michael Bisping out and you think that now he fucking Robert Whittaker's ducking his taco? You fucking crazy, dog? Don't bring that shit over here. Hell no. With that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And before we get out of here, what's shout out to all the full-time MMA white belts that have hit the subscribe button. And make sure you also hit the notification bell right next to it so you get notified every time I upload a video. And also, what's make sure you check out the Full-Time MMA Dojo over on patreon.com/fulltimemma if you want to see even more videos like this, or if you just want to find cool ways to help support your favorite MMA channel on YouTube. What's I'm out.
Bye, Felicia.